Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. Sitting outside playing in the rain.
Just a little bit.
So
I wanted to wash
he's
my
getting his
left
shower for the day, so he's gonna hang his arm and head out the window.
This is part two.
So,
Arm and shower.
Yeah, arm and shower. That's funny. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the event that happened Friday night, the WarriorMania. We worked with HOD David Ministries and the Ignite Sports Camp. Both of those are headed by the DiBiases, respectively. Ted Sr. with Heart of David and Ted Jr. with Ignite Sports. So we do this camp with them once a year, and we'll talk a little bit about that and then just see where the story goes.
I think we ought to talk about fan interaction later.
Oh, absolutely. So we did the event down in Vosburg, Mississippi at Walkaway Springs, and I'm probably saying that wrong.
I ain't got damn.
Home of the coldest water in Mississippi or something like that, is what I was told. But I'll tell you what it doesn't have: cell phone service and places open after 8 o'clock. So
Sounds like a pocket.
So yeah, so that's what it did have that I can verify. I don't know if it had the coldest water in the state, but it definitely had that.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a jam-packed crowd, man. It was close to 200 kids there, all probably just, I'd say, between 12 and 19 years of age. So that was cool. We had a lot of adults there with the counselors and some pro athletes and that kind of thing that was there doing the camp with the kids. I think there was like a guy that had retired from the NFL. There was like a DJ there, and just several things like that. I think a soccer guy, a couple standout college athletes, and that kind of thing. The head coach for JSU was there. So it was a really cool atmosphere for us to be able to perform in front of them.
Cool.
And I'm gonna say we had some debuts, so to speak, of some guys. It was I'm not gonna say who they are, but I'll say the names they performed under.
Okay.
But Chase Adams made his debut, and he took on Chuck McMullen. So that was a really good match. Chase, if our fans ever get to see him, they're in for a treat. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the last time Chase Adams had ever been in front of a crowd was when he made his video for the WWF talent search or whatever they were doing, or WWE. I don't know why I said F.
It used to be. They got the F out.
Yeah, they got the F out. So we got to see what a boss looked like, smelt like, tastes like, but I don't think anybody tasted him. But that's kind of his catchphrase: is I look like a boss, I smell like a boss, I taste like a boss. So you take that how you want it. And then we got to see a new tag team, well, two new tag teams actually. One that's familiar, one unfamiliar. We got to see the debut of the Backbreakers, JD Jenkins and DC Curtis, and they took on the newly formed team of Oblivion and Silverhawk. So it's definitely interesting. I got to see two teams that have a lot of promise, and I was actually surprised by the teaming of Oblivion and Silverhawk. A little trivia for those that wasn't in attendance: DC Curtis ripped off Silverhawk's mask, and for the majority of the time he tried to keep it covered up, but you could see that for a while he did not have a head, so to speak. Yeah. So it was a white guy. Sorry to disappoint anybody.
Pasty white chest didn't give it away.
Sorry to disappoint anybody, but not a Hispanic luchador, but a white luchador. El Whito, I think that was his name. So Silverhawk and Oblivion did not fare very well as they lost to the Backbreakers.
But did they lose to a backbreaker?
I think so.
Really? Cool.
I think so. I can't remember.
I'd be made disappointed if your name's the Backbreakers and your finish ain't got a backbreaker.
I can't remember what the actual finish was, but I do think it might have been the Backbreaker, or a version of a Backbreaker.
Cool.
So impressed with them nonetheless. So that brought us to the third match, which was I guess a re-debut. He was here in the early days of Ego. Nick Wonder made his return.
Still wearing the glasses?
No,
Oh,
no
wearing
glasses. No
more?
glasses.
Dang.
He wrestled Barry Wolf in probably the most technical match of the night. Nick hit a really nice crossbody off the top. That's a move that you don't get to see that often. I was glad to see that. And he defeated Barry Wolf.
Bubba Ray Dudley.
Wow. Okay.
I'm serious.
Wasn't expecting that one. But he beat Barry Wolf with the spinning toe kick, which you know a lot of people call the Kofi kick, or Trouble in Paradise, or whatever it is. So I don't think the crowd expected the white guy to get up like he did with the spinning toe kick.
I've worked Nick. He's very athletic.
He's an athlete for sure. And what looked to be the main event was Ray Fury took on Lucas Frost. And excuse me. Ray Fury defeated. Sneezes. Ray Fury defeated Lucas Frost with the froggy elbow off the top. Crowd went ballistic. So it was really cool. And as they were celebrating, Ted DiBiase Jr. came on the microphone and said, "We can't have WarriorMania without a Warriors Battle Royal. So we have to see a Battle Royal with all the wrestlers. The last three in the ring were the Backbreakers and Oblivion. I thought at one time Oblivion was going to eliminate both, but that did not happen. And Oblivion, got double teamed and tossed out. So as the Backbreakers were sharing in their victory, it was announced that we had to have one winner.
Well, yeah.
Can't have two. I don't know if the Backbreakers were simple in the brain department, or if they were just trying to go, "Hey, we're one unit." But music played, familiar music that people may have heard before. It was
I come from money.
That song.
So.
And out came Ted DiBiase Jr., who quickly eliminated the Backbreakers after he hit them with Dream Street.
I would have rather heard.
So, that probably would have made the
awesome.
night. Yeah. So the winner of the first annual Warriors Battle Royal was Ted DiBiase Jr.
The guy that made the match. Well, that never happens in wrestling.
Never happens in wrestling. So, yeah. So that's what we did Friday night. No cell phone service. A lot of wrestling. I've never.
What, no cell? What? Oh.
He got jokes. So, yeah, completely lost my train of thought. Never had a crowd where I thought I was going to kick 50 kids in the head.
Bull crap, when me and Justin got kicked out of Vicksburg and the little kids chased us out literally with chairs.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, but it was fun. So, can't wait to go back. So that's what I did this weekend in wrestling. You do anything? See anything?
No. I worked.
Oh, you worked?
I worked all weekend.
I got you.
I did find out that Samoa Joe won the pay-per-view, and now the match will be Joe and Brock Lesnar, which has been a dream match for freaking years.
Oh, well, that's got me interested.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's cool.
And I accidentally found that out this morning by hearing the spoiler. I didn't want to hear because I wanted to watch pay-per-view and find out.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, sorry.
Rewind and then go forward or something.
I didn't even mean to hear it myself, honestly.
So, overall, we had a good weekend. Like I say, huge crowd. A loud crowd. Like, they were into wrestling, And I think the adults probably enjoyed it more than kids. So, that's always a plus,
You said it was more or less kind of like for needy kids too, right?
Yeah. It's a sports camp, so it's I guess underprivileged and privileged kids kind of coexisting and trying to beat out racism and all that kind of crap. And it's Christian based, so it's a lot of preaching and praising and that type of thing, but it's also a lot of fellowship and showing that you don't have to be a gangbanger or a douchebag or anything else to coexist. That you can have fun while being not killing people and that kind of thing. So, or downgrading folks or whatever you want to look at it. You don't have to fight to have fun. You can wrestle. So, overall, it's a good camp.
Cool.
So yeah, you were talking about fan interaction with wrestlers.
Well, it's kind of like, what's the craziest fans you've had to deal with? Personal interaction. It can be wrestling, you can be doing a camera, security, whatever. I got a couple.
I mean, I've had crowds throw things at me and stuff like that. I've also had, fans that would be on their phone and not paying attention, and I'm like, why didn't you show up if you weren't even going to look at it, Are we boring you that much? Just freaking leave, We've had people jump the guardrail, try to come in the ring. Had like stalker fans who just want to, freaking obsess over you. And if you want to, if you're stalking me, something's wrong. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of my peak of, fans that think they know more than they probably know. Well, I've been a fan all my life, so I can tell you what to do and how to do it and when to do it. But, I mean, overall, just that kind of general, that way you're leaning toward?
Kind of, but I was kind of going for individual stories. Like, when I was doing security, had crazy Kenny in the outside there. If I remember right, Monty was in the ring cutting one of his legendary promos that could make Jesus want to come whoop you. And
sure make crazy people want to jump the guardrail, huh?
But Kenny decides that he got one leg over the barricade. I grabbed Kenny, he said, let go of me. I said, nah. I'm gonna whoop his. I said, no. You gotta let go of me. I said, no. He said, I'm gonna give you the count of 10. I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said, all right, now what do you do? He climbed back over the rail.
Yeah. I don't remember if I was running camera yet. I know I wasn't wrestling, but I might have been either A, I was in the crowd, or B, I was running camera. It involves Kenny as well. And his wife had a shirt on of a babyface wrestler. And that babyface turned heel that night. Yeah. And Kenny proceeded to rip her shirt off of her because it had that guy's name on it. So that's my Kenny story. Which is always fun, Yep. I had the first time I managed you in Batesville, Mississippi. Yep. And I had the lady chase me with a fly swatter.
Yeah, that's right. The old lady, fun. That was great.
I had a lady in Raleigh chase me around the building. She probably could have beat me up because she looked like she was cornbread fed and
she had a baby on her hip and a cigarette in her mouth.
Yeah, so no, she'd had that, but she had both fists up, and if she would have got a hold of me, I'm pretty sure I would have had something I didn't want. And so I've had that. Had a crowd throw batteries and rocks and stuff at me.
Have you ever had a promo cut and it backfired on you?
What do you mean?
Here was the promo. There was a guy, he was coming to Battle Zone. But I knew something that the guy cut the promo didn't know. And I'm in the audience. Let's just say I'm hid in the audience at this point, but I'm listening to the promo go on. Later on, I'm to come in the ring at a run-in. As promo goes, he looks in the back and sees this guy with sunglasses on. So his promo goes something like this. If you're inside and you're wearing glasses, you're either blind or you're an a-hole. The best part of the promo was when he stopped. And the blind guy stands up and goes, yeah, I'm blind, so that must mean you're an a-hole. But he would literally come every once in a while to Battle Zone, and he would come with his brother, and he loved watching wrestling when he had sight. Yeah. So he liked to still hear the interaction.
So things still registered to him. Yeah.
But I love that the promo literally backfired, and a fan got the biggest pop. I ain't gonna say.
Oh, come on. Come on, we want to know.
I just say it was a fat guy at Battle Zone, and you can figure that out for great.
Does he wear pink?
I ain't saying. I ain't saying.
Poor.
I ain't saying.
Poor. I bet he was marvelous in the pink.
I don't know. That was just great.
I've never had that, but now.
But the fan got the biggest pop. That was my point. Yeah.
I've never really directed my promos to the crowd. I mean, I have included them, but it was never like, let me start here. The only time I did that was when I wrestled the Pharaoh Funk for I'm gonna say the first time after we had heat, so to speak. And
heat and wrestling.
Yeah, who knew? So I put the crowd over as being a huge crowd, that kind of thing, and so I started my promo that way, and he comes out dancing and that kind of thing, and I used a word to describe what he was doing, and I don't think that went over real well with the crowd now that I remember it, but let's just say it rhymed with something that probably they didn't want to hear. That was probably a time. I'd say the promo kind of backfired on me then, but I got them back when I turned it, because I went out as a baby face and slapped hands, and then when I called them all fat pigs and cows, they didn't tend to like me anymore.
Yeah,
so
that tends to piss them off.
Yeah.
Only one.
So that was really cool that I actually was able to get them back. Probably the most riled up I've ever had them is the Dr. Pepper story with the kid. I think I've told it on here. But that's probably my favorite memory in wrestling, was just being able to do that, like be that true heel, and make the crowd go crazy. So that was always fun.
You've never really had to deal with a blood situation in fans, but me and Justin Matthews was having a bull rope match, and it was for the TV title down at Battle Zone. And he took the pole and bust his head.
Yeah.
Like legit bust his head. And I hear somebody in the crowd go, "Oh, that's fake." Front row, middle. I grabbed him by the back of the hair, took him over to that dude, and started punching him on the top of the head. Blood pours into this guy's lap. Maybe it's not.
I do have a story similar, but I was on the opposite side of the guardrail. So this is when I was a fan. And it was hardcore Billy Little, and having a hardcore match with probably like Cody Mantell or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got blood poured all over his face, and he looks at the crowd and he goes, oh, and blood just goes all over all of us. So douchebag move for sure on his part.
Yeah,
thankful that he didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Because I have been tested. Got tested very quickly after that. Just because I don't like blood.
That's filthy.
But yeah, I was thankful that was probably the last time people saw there. So.
Yeah, I remember he got in trouble for that, because that was bad. He got in trouble for a couple of things that night, but
so that was pretty below the line. So, from a fan aspect, that was too much,
Well, this was on the floor in front of him. I didn't get it on, his dumb ass, but it was just when somebody calls out something and you think you know something, but you don't know jack. I might be able to point out.
I've never understood how, like, I get that concept of if you see blood on a guy, okay, that may be fake. I can understand that part.
But if it's pouring out your forehead.
But if they wrestle for 30 minutes, and by the time they're through, the ring's covered, the floor's covered, the opponents are covered, where are you hiding this gallon bag of liquid that's supposedly fake coming out of your hair? You know what I mean? Like, that I never could grab. Oh, that's fake blood. Well, it got to come from somewhere.
Let me tell you a little story about blood. This was after the first blood match with Carter. And we went to...
I refereed that match. I'm pretty sure I refereed that match.
No, J.D. McCain refereed the match because he screwed up the finish.
Okay, well, I got a first blood story.
But the next night, me and Jimmy V at the time go to Hooters to watch a WWE pay-per-view. And I have a bandage on my head from where I got split open with a chair.
Yeah.
And this jackass, and just there watching wrestling, old guy, just being pretty much SOB the whole damn time they were there.
He was a troll.
And Ric Flair's in there, and he was pouring blood. You know how Ric Flair pours blood. And he heard me talking about wrestling earlier that night, and he kept dogging it and dogging it and dogging it. And he goes, "Oh, you know that damn blood's fake." And I turned around and grabbed the bandage and ripped it out, and I had a big old cut across my forehead. And I said, "Well, explain how the hell that's fake, you stupid." And I almost grabbed you, like Jimmy's having to stop me. He's like, "Shake, shake, 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 shake." He goes, He goes, well, this guy's good. I said, we left like shortly thereafter, but like, I was hot.
So
but,
yeah,
he was definitely a troll.
So from a fan, like not everything you think you know, right?
Yeah, you don't know jack.
Yep. So let's wrap this up with let's do something positive.
I'll try.
What's your
Positivity
favorite
page.
fan interaction that you've had with a fan from as a wrestler to a fan? What's your favorite? And then vice versa, the favorite thing that happened to you as a fan.
Okay, I can do the one with the fan. Damn, what was her name? I'm trying to remember it. But it was just a fan. I was a heel at the time. But when we worked for Battle Zone, we did a signing one night, and Danny never let the heels go out and sign. For the first time ever, I had talked him into letting the heels, some of us go out, and I knew some wouldn't do it and some would.
Yeah.
But I went out, and we had a big old gal that was in the crowd. You know the one I'm talking about, but I swear I can't remember her real name.
Kathy.
Yeah, that's it. And she asked me, she said, why every time you come out, you always mess with me? I said, because you always give me a reaction. And she had the biggest smile on her face then because she was like, oh crap, I'm part of the show.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of just that.
Yeah.
You know. But it was like, and it wasn't like I made her all of a sudden a fan of mine, but it was just like she understood then, you know. Because if I'm doing something and you just sitting there like an idiot, what's the point?
Yep. All right, what about the other version of you as a fan?
As a fan, probably the first time I ever went to see WCW, my aunt and uncle, God, this when I was a kid. I was mid-teens maybe. But I got to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan for the first time. I was always a big fan of his when I was a kid. And it was him fighting Finley. And just a simple fact, hell, he slapped my hand when I come through.
Yeah.
And then later on, I got to be on the same show with a guy and got a picture with him.
That's cool.
You know, just something as simple as somebody you're a fan of slapping your damn hand could be it, you know?
I think for me, as a fan, it was basically the character I created, and the fact that the wrestlers would put it over was to use my chair. Like the fact they used my chair. So I always thought that was very cool. You know, that not necessarily I was a part of the show, but I was important enough that I could be used in the show. You know what I mean? Because by no way or means was I adding anything to it, I don't think. But I think just the fact that I gave them that option of here's kind of the super fan.
But everybody in the back knew who you were.
Yeah,
I promise you, before you ever went to the back, they knew who you were.
So to me, that was always really cool that they actually took the time. Like, I took the effort to try to go above just being a fan, and they took the extra to encourage it.
I'm sorry, but even if I go to a show now and I'm a wrestler or a film guy, whatever the hell you want to call me, I still interact.
Yep.
I can't just sit there. I don't see how people can go to a wrestling show and go.
Yep. And I think from a wrestler standpoint, I'm
like, why are you there? Why'd you spend your money? Why didn't you stay home?
Yeah. From a wrestler standpoint, I think the biggest, or at least my favorite memory from me as a wrestler, them as a fan, is when we've done a couple things for kids.
Yeah.
That maybe not. That's not going to have that long life that maybe some of us are going to have.
Yeah, two of them died, didn't
I think so. And like they come in and pin me or whatever, or at least or me being able to set that up and that kind of thing. So, you know, having that kid in the ring, beating a wrestler, being able to raise their hand, his or her hand, and saying, you know, you're a champion. I think that's one of the coolest, things for me as a wrestler. That's probably the favorite memory of mine, is just being able to do that for a kid that may be their, their favorite memory for the remainder of their life, whatever. So, but yeah, that's positive. Kind of, that's a little downer, a little bit on my end. But yeah. So you want to promote anything?
I'm gonna put up Davey Vega and Life in a Headlock. Go watch Jake Parnell and Life in a Headlock. Cause good guys that need some views.
Yeah, Gilquist is a good one. That's pretty good.
It was good though. Yeah, but
I mean, it's got low views.
Trying to promote Parnell right now.
Yeah.
Because he's all over the place.
Watch that Jay Andrews guy, Life in the Headlock. He needs the views too.
Yeah, because you're clearly wrestling so much now and everything.
But yeah, he needs it. Give that a watch if you get nothing else to watch. Sorry, Jake, Davey, Gil, and everybody else on Life in the Headlock. Watch Jay Andrews.
You're gonna see me regardless. I don't care.
So so got that.
Sometimes I have a beard.
Yeah.
And a bad name.
June 24th. we return to the hideaway. Looking forward to fight night 3. So check us out.
It'll be an experience.
Absolutely. Later.